Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it so very much. Welcome, my name is Aiden. I'm so happy that you're here. I have another favorite scents and favorite scent notes in my series. This is video 3. I wanted to talk about some of my coconut fragrances this time. There's a couple of them that are more along the lines of a pina colada, but I feel like the coconut is more dominant. That's why they didn't make it into my pineapple video. This video, I have a few more scents. I have 8 here instead of just 5 for the last couple of videos, but I just couldn't eliminate a couple of these because I think they're really good. And these, for the most part, are more available. I know they are technically discontinued, but I think you can find a lot of these, even if they are not in retailers. I think you can still find them on the gray market. Some of them are still available. You can buy them at Sephora. I would recommend waiting for a sale though, because the first one is very expensive, and we'll start with that one. Before I get started though, please do consider subscribing if you have not subscribed already. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it. It really does help out small YouTubers. I would really like my channel to get to 2,500. I know that's like not a huge goal for some people, but I would like to bump up my numbers just a little bit. That's my goal for the end of the year. So fingers crossed we can get there. And then also let me know some of your favorite coconut scents, and if you've tried any of these, what your thoughts are on them. Leave that down below. All right, so the first one I want to talk about is one that's very dirty. This is Kayali Utopia Vanilla Coconut 21. I know you can't really see on camera, but I've used a good chunk of this. This is a scent that I really enjoyed wearing last year at the start of the school year in October. Oh my gosh, I wish school started in October. In August and into September. So I wore this one quite a bit. This was a scent that I really, really enjoyed. Let me give you the notes on this. So our top notes are coconut milk, honeysuckle, pear blossom, and Italian lemon. Middle notes are tuberose, gardenia, jasmine sambac, and ambrette, which is muskmallow. And then base notes are bourbon, vanilla, sandalwood, musk, and patchouli. I don't really get a lot of patchouli from this. I get mostly a beautiful kind of creamy coconut. That vanilla adds to that with some jasmine in there a little bit. It's slightly different than Alien Goddess, which we're going to talk about in a minute because that one I also love. It is different enough, but let me spray it. I have test strips. Why aren't I using them? I will say I wouldn't wear this on a white shirt because it does have a little bit of color to it, which you wouldn't be able to tell from the bottle. But I just noticed that when I sprayed it, that it did have a little bit of color to the liquid. Yeah, I get mostly coconut, but it's a more sophisticated coconut. It's not a overly coconut scent, if that makes sense. So it doesn't give me a lot of, it has the creaminess of it. That's why I like it, because of the coconut milk. It's not a dry coconut scent, which I know a lot of people like that type of scent. That's not the type of scent I like. I like a creamy coconut, which is why I love this one with that vanilla. And then there's that jasmine. I do get that. It kind of grounds it. Maybe I'm getting a touch of patchouli in there to kind of ground it, but mostly it's just the coconut and the vanilla with a little jasmine. So I like this one. It's probably the most floral of all of the ones that I have here, but it is a lovely scent. I already mentioned this one, so we'll go to this one next. This is Alien Goddess. This is the original one. They have done 2 flankers. I didn't like the Intense because it was very, very like yellow floral to me. I didn't like that. It was overly floral, and I'm not a big tropical floral fan. I like my white florals much more. So anything that has like that waxy, I think it has a ylang-ylang in it or something. Maybe it's frangipani. Not my favorite scent. Oh, this one smells so good. I haven't worn this one in such a long time. I wore this one also a lot at the beginning of the school year. I went through a travel size of it, and then it started getting cooler, so I took a little break from it. But let me give you the notes on this. So top notes are coconut water and bergamot. Middle notes are jasmine and heliotrope. Base notes are bourbon, vanilla, and cashmere. So this one has a different take on it They're similar. I feel like Utopia is a little bit more sweet. This one is not quite as sweet, but the coconut is very, very prominent in this one. I get a little bit of the jasmine, not as much, but it's more of it's vanilla and coconut, but not as a sweet of a scent. But these are great for hot weather. They are, they're kind of sweet, but they're not overly sweet, and they're refreshing. They're not overbearing. The notes, the cashmere or the patchouli doesn't drag them down too much. So yes, I really love this one as well, and that's why I had to include it. I have another Mugler on my list as well. This is in the Angel line. This is Angel Iced Star. This one I've heard has gotten very hard to find. The first two are still in retailers as regular fragrances. This one was a limited edition, and unfortunately, a lot of the limited edition Angels are very sought after. They're very loved. This is one of my favorites. I have the Eau Corsairs that I love probably more than this one. Well, at least the original one. This is more of a pina colada scent. This one, in some ways, feels sweeter than the first two, but also feels more dense and a little bit more sophisticated, if that makes sense. So the notes on this one, according to Fragrantica, are pineapple, coconut, vanilla, praline, and patchouli. I definitely get the patchouli in this one, and I feel like I get the praline. That's what's making it so sweet. There is some of the pineapple in there, but the coconut I feel like is just a little bit more prominent than the pineapple, but they blend really well. So if you want a pina colada scent, but more of a sophisticated pina colada, like you don't want to smell just like you just dumped a drink all over you, which is what I usually tend to like, this is a good one. I'm getting the pineapple more on the test strip, but I don't smell that as much on my skin when I wear it. I get a lot of the coconut with a little bit of the patchouli and the praline. So it's like sweet, but grounded, but a little earthy. It's not a terrible patchouli. Sometimes I don't like patchouli, but I like it in this one. And I don't like the original Angel. I know. It just, I don't like it on my skin, but I really love this flanker. I think it's because of the pineapple and the coconut. Oh, it's so good. I feel like I'm not giving it enough justice, but yes, very, very good. Angel Iced Star. Another patchouli kind of scent is La Vie Belle. This is Soleil Cristal. This is one of the flankers. I believe this one is still available. I don't think it's been discontinued. I know they have discontinued some of the lines, but one thing that they have that's pretty prominent is a patchouli note. So the notes on this one are mandarin orange, pink pepper, and bergamot. Middle notes are ylang ylang, iris, orange blossom, and jasmine. Base notes are coconut, vanilla, and patchouli. So with this one, I feel like this one performs so much better on your skin than on the strip. On the strip, it has, the mandarin is a little bit more prominent, and the patchouli, I feel, and the orange blossom, it doesn't perform differently, I feel, than the original La Vie Belle when I smell it on the strip. But when I wear it on my skin, I get the vanilla and the coconut much more. It feels like a lighter version of La Vie Belle, definitely more of a summer type scent. It's probably my second favorite flanker in the line, and I'm not the biggest fan of the original, but I like some of the flankers. I have about 3 of them that I really quite enjoy. And this one, wear it on your skin. If you smell it in store, it's probably going to feel very heavy, very patchouli heavy, very kind of dense. But on the skin, the coconut comes out a lot more. It's mostly coconut and patchouli, I would say. And so you do have to like patchouli to enjoy this one. And like I said, sometimes I like patchouli, sometimes I don't. It's not like a dirty patchouli. Like, I think of hippies when I smell like really heavy patchouli, but that's not what this is. This has that coconut, so it lightens it, and it is a good summer version. I wouldn't wear this in super high heat, but this would work probably from like the 70s into the 80s, 90s, 100s. I wouldn't wear this one. I think it would be too much. But the other ones that I've talked about, I think, are better for high heat. They perform well. This one's kind of a cheapie. I found this one at TJ Maxx, but I think you can find this at Urban Outfitters or at their website. This is the brand Monde Gourmand, but they are made for Urban Outfitters as far as I know. At least that's what I've heard. I paid $17.99 for this giant bottle. This is how big is this? 2.5 ounces. This is Lait de Coco. They have some nice scents in this line. They're very interesting. You can sometimes find sets of them, like sampler sets. I found those at TJ Maxx or Marshall's as well. This basically is what it says. It smells like a coconut milk. It doesn't last like a super long time, but if you want something for layering, you want something sweet, you want just a coconut, a pure coconut, that's what I would do with this one. I do enjoy this one quite a bit. Let me give you the notes on it. So this one's very simple. It's bergamot, coconut, and vanilla and praline. I don't really get anything other than the coconut. Maybe I get the vanilla just a little bit, but it does smell very much like a very light coconut milk. Or coconut water even, like there's coconut in it. It's slightly sweet, but it's not like an overwhelming scent. It's very much going to be a skin scent. But like I said, it's a cheapie. It's a good value. This one I think is still available on the gray market, and it is one of my favorite lines. I love the bottles. I know some people find them they don't like the bottles, but this is where I got into perfumes, perfume collecting. This is where my love started, and it's Harajuku lovers. I love the little dolls on them. This is Electric Pop G, and so there's a whole bunch of them. They're different lines, and they all have Love Angel Music, Baby, and G is for Gwen Stefani, since it's her line. And I know people don't like this. You can sometimes find the testers that don't have the dolls on them, but I don't think those are fun. These are probably my least favorite of the dolls because they're more the drippy style. They're not as, like the other ones actually have faces painted on them and stuff. Oh my gosh, this one is so good. This is such a summer tropical scent. Let me give you the notes on it. So our notes are whipped cream and coconut. Middle notes are floral notes. Base notes are musk and woody notes. And I swear there's like a little fruitiness in there too, like there's a sweetness in there that's like a sweet fruitiness that's not listed on Fragrantica. But if you want something fun, you want something light, you want something that's going to be creamy and sweet, this is a good one. This one is much more fun than a lot of the other ones that I've talked about so far. All of the ones that I've talked about. I would say this is the most fun, probably the most might be the sweetest of them all, actually. I will rank them here at the end, like the most realistic, the most coconut to the least coconut. But I think this one is so fun. I absolutely love it. And I highly recommend it before they go. They've been discontinued a couple years, so they're getting harder to find, I think. Next up, I think you can still find this around. I picked this up at Kohl's a few years ago. This was when they were doing a massive clearance, and so I got it for super cheap. This is SJP Sarah Jessica Parker NYC Crush, and the bottle on this is like ridiculous. It does feel like leather on it, but then you open it and you're like, oh, it just looks so cheap inside. It looks nice until you open it, but then you can spray it. I guess you can take it out. It's just a very, very plain, boring bottle inside. This is a really nice scent. The only scent notes that are listed on Fragrantica are coconut, vanilla, and white florals. It doesn't really even specify, and I think that's a very accurate depiction. It's mostly vanilla and coconut. The florals are not as prominent as any of the other fragrances that have talked about white florals. So if you think of Alien or Utopia, I don't get that as much. This smells much more sweet, creamier. It does not last as long as the other ones, I will say that. But yeah, it's a nice one. It's a good option, especially like if you want Alien, like this is going to be, I want to say this size, this is a 100 ml. but 100 ml of this is going to be well over 100. The 100 ml of Utopia is well over 100. So if you want something similar, but you maybe don't need that weightiness of the florals or the patchouli, this is a really good option. It's in the similar vein, but a much cheaper option. All right, my last one I feel like is the most different of all of these. Probably maybe the one that's most year-round friendly, or even more fall and spring friendly. That is Zara's Fabulous Sweet. I have no idea what's going on with Zara. I don't pretend to understand the workings of Zara or keep up with them because I don't like ordering from them online, so I don't pay attention to their website. I see what Coco Peps posts about them, both on her Instagram and her YouTube channel. That's how I kind of keep up with what they're doing. And if I get into a store once or twice a year, I will look at what that store has, because it's, I don't live anywhere near one. The closest one is like at least a 5-hour drive for me. So I don't go there unless I'm there for some other reason, or I'm taking a detour because it's like an hour and a half detour to make it to the store. And sometimes I feel like doing that, sometimes I don't. Anyway, we'll give this a quick spray. I get the coconut in this, but this has so many other things going on as well. So let me give you all the notes, because this one has a lot. The top notes are pear, mandarin orange, and pink pepper. Middle notes are tuberose, ylang-ylang, and coconut water. Base notes are vanilla, tonka bean, and patchouli. So I get a little bit of the coconut in here, but I also feel like it's like the coconut and vanilla are very similar, and then everything else in there is acting in accordance. This is going to sound weird. I do get the coconut's probably the least prominent of all of these scents that I'm giving you today. But to me, this there's something about it, and it could be just the fresh fruitiness at the top. Reminds me of Gucci Guilty, but like you added coconut and vanilla to Gucci Guilty and made it more syrupy. That's what I kind of get with this one. So yes, there's coconut in it. Yes, if you want something with coconut that's more of a year-round scent, I would go for this one. I probably wouldn't wear this in the summer. I think it's a little too heavy for the summer, a little too dense, but it is a nice vanilla coconut as well. All right, I'm going to rank these from the least amount of coconut to the most amount of coconut. Like I said, Fabulous Sweet probably has the least amount of coconut in it by Zara. If you can find it, don't pay outrageous secondary market Zara prices though. But if you do find it for $20, $30, it's worth a try. I do enjoy it. Next up, in terms of coconut, I'm going to put Iced Star, because I feel like it's more of a pina colada. You get a little bit more of that pineapple mixed in with the coconut. So they it plays hide and seek with the coconut. Sometimes I'm like, oh, it's way more coconut. Sometimes I feel like it's a little bit more pineapple-y, but I'm going to put that one in 7th place in terms of coconut. Then I'm going to put La Vie Belle Soleil Cristal in 6th place. This one does have coconut. It is coconut, but the patchouli and the La Vie Belle DNA is quite strong in this one still, so it is a little less so than some of the other ones. Getting a little bit more tricky because I feel like some of these have equal amounts of coconut, so it's a little hard to judge which one has more coconut. But I'm going to put right in the middle at 4th is Kayali Utopia Vanilla Cocoa. I just think the jasmine in here is a little bit more prominent than in some of the other scents, but I definitely it's a coconut scent. When I think of coconut, it's the one that I think of. And then right above that, I'm going to put the Alien Goddess. I feel like this one has that very prominent coconut too, and they're similar, but they're very different. So I love both of them, but I feel like maybe Alien Goddess just edges it out just a little bit. And then edging out those two just a titch is the Harajuku Lovers Electric Crop G. I feel like the whipped cream and the coconut are a little more prominent in this one. but it is more of a tropical, fruity type of a scent, which I think is funny because I don't see fruity notes in it, but that's where I would put that one. Then I think these two are probably equal in their amount of coconut. I would probably pick SGP NYC Crush a little bit over the Lait de Coco, just because this one is so fleeting. So like it's definitely a coconut scent, but it doesn't have a lot of lasting power. And I feel like this one has a little bit more lasting power, but this one definitely, like, you smell it and you're like, that's coconut. And I really like that about this one. All right, let me know what coconut scents you have, what ones you think I should try, or what other ones you would recommend for people watching the video. Let me know down below. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.